Hey, what's up, YouTube, man? I'm back. Hey, this is not necessarily a review. I just wanted to revisit this watch, man. I've had it a couple months. I think it's been a couple months. I don't know, man. Y'all can check the math on y'all's own time. But right now, I want to get into some stuff. You know, when you buy some new tech, man, and it's hot and fresh off the skillet, and it's all, you know, super awesome and everything, and everybody's got to have it, and it's got all these different features. Because they do pack a lot of features into these phones and you know, smartwatches and stuff. But then after a month or two, you know, sometimes it doesn't even take that long. You wonder, or, you know, you wonder if it's still, you know, worth the money, or if you're still going to be using all this stuff. I just wanted to revisit this thing a couple of months after all the hype then died down and let y'all know what apps I actually use every day. I actually do wear the watch every day, and I got all these bands back here because I'm kind of a band whore. And I just wear a different band almost every day. And yes, I have had all of these bands on my watch at some particular time with a different face. You can go back and check some of my other reviews about watch faces and bands. Trust me, I'm gonna link all these bands in the description so y'all can check them out on Amazon or wherever I got them from. But here's the deal. I wanted to go through some apps that I actually currently use on a daily basis, if not, you know, at least a few times a week. And you can also classify this as my favorite apps video too. So my favorite bands, my favorite apps, what's still useful to me, because this watch does a lot, man. And you know, to be honestly, you're not going to use everything, but there's some things that you're going to go to every day. So let's start out with the watch faces. I customize my watch face every day, okay? Every time I change the band, it's pretty much got to have a new face on it. So I would like y'all, I'll probably link in the description of my other videos on watch faces, but you know, I use a lot of the stock ones. Actually, you know what, that's a lie. I use, let me see, I'll use this one right here. Let me see. I use this one a lot because, you know, because I'm a trainer, and it has, you know, it has a lot of information displayed right there. Okay, so that's my personal information. You got the battery life and weather and steps and heart rate. But, you know, I got right here big and bold, you know, what the time is. And then if you, for all my, you know, sports style watch faces or watch bands, I can go in and just, you know, kind of customize it to whatever color band I'm using at the time. So we'll hit OK there. And that's pretty much my go-to watch face when I'm doing sports type of stuff or training people. So we're not going to get into too many of these faces, but you know, I go through the jeweler, look up the jeweler in the app store, and you'll see a lot of those faces, because I actually do use a lot of those faces right there when I'm dressing my watch up and I'm looking classy that day. So I'm not going to click on all these watch faces because I got videos done on them already. But so the watch faces, that's a feature that I use on a daily basis, you know, with the interchangeable bands. Now let's slide over to my little widget right here with my most commonly used apps, I would say. Like I said, I'm a trainer, so I need a stopwatch, okay? My stopwatch right there, click on it, bam, it's working. Okay, let me stop that. Okay, and the stopwatch works really well. I wish it was integrated into some of the faces. That way it's, you know, more accessible, but it's okay. It's just one click over. But you see, I just stopped right there. I can resume from right here, or I can reset. Let's start. And then I can actually, you know, do laps. So that's first lap, second lap. So the stopwatch is actually really useful. Let's reset it and then get out of there. I use the timer just as much as I use a stopwatch. Stopwatch, I like this dial because you can just dial in specifically what type of time you want it. I have it 45 seconds. We were doing 45-second intervals this morning, and you can always reset it just like that. And it just sounds through the alarm just like your phone would. So that's pretty useful to me. I'm not going to go into S Health just yet because that's probably one of my most used apps. The music player. I have a widget for that, so it's on that home screen, but I use the music app quite a bit. Sometimes when I'm at my studio, I walk outside and there's no music out there because the music is in my studio, so I can hear it disconnect, and then I'll just go to my music app. A lot of times I would just go to this app, but I also use Spotify too. So Spotify and the stop music app on here are my go-to apps. Now Spotify actually is a pretty good app, man. You know, I said it was good in my review, but then I kind of dogged it because they make you pay for it to have on the watch. So I got this, you know, free thing going. And, you know, turns out it's actually a pretty good app. There's been several times I've gone out on the streets, you know, maybe did some walking or something like that, and I just left my phone at home, man, because I got my phone calls, I got my text messages, and, you know, whatever other important notifications I needed, but I still had music. And I had it on my Bluetooth headphones, but you know, as far as music goes and sound, the speaker actually is pretty decent, man. I would compare it to the Galaxy S7 speaker. So they pretty much threw a phone speaker up in here. So it's loud enough, you know, it's not going to bang your eardrums out, of course, but it's loud enough to get the point. All right, so let's go in S Health because I actually use that quite a bit. I don't usually go into the app. I usually just use my widget over here. Let me see, let me move over to the widget. Yeah, these are all S Health widgets. So I've drank, you know what? I actually had another glass of water. So I use my water right here. This is built into S Health, but they also have a widget for it. There's your water and your caffeine. The steps, I'm always tracking steps, man. I got to hit my 11,000 steps a day. You see, I didn't do it Monday. I was slacking, but you know, I got my 2 check marks there for Tuesday and Wednesday. Working on it today. So you can start your basic workout. You can go in there and tell it what kind of workout you're doing. Otherwise, it's going to kind of sense that you're doing a workout. Like if you just start doing, you know, burpees and jumping jacks right now, it's going to sense the movement, the rapid movement at the, you know, consistent pace, and it'll do like an auto detection of a workout. So, you know, it is what it is. It's always pretty much every couple of hours, it'll check my heart rate for me. So I was actually asleep not long ago. So that's why it looks like I almost died there. So, and there's that music app I told you about, and then next is Spotify. Keep those right next to each other. Theater mode, I haven't used theater mode yet, but I keep it on a widget because, you know, I just got that feeling you're going to be in a dark place one day, and, you know, you don't want to be blinding everybody with your watch. So you just tap theater mode, and it just dims your watch down even more. So the screen is live right now, right? You probably can't even see that. The screen is live, but the theater mode is on. So it's in like super, super dark mode. So you just tap it again, and it's off. Now you can see it. All right, so let's go back into some other useful things that I use on a daily basis. S Health was pretty detailed, but next we have my calendar. If it ain't in my calendar, it ain't happening, okay? So that's the kind of guy I am. So I like that they have this agenda widget right here built into the calendar app. So what I can do is I can just tap that little arrow right there, and then, you know, I've got all my schedule right there. So what I'm supposed to be doing. So I like having that right there on the fly, and I don't have to open my phone up for that. That's pretty nice. When you click into it, let's see what's up with my lunch and errands. When you click into it, you can just dial into whatever one you want to go into. So let's just see. Yeah, you got details in there. Yeah, you can just go into the details. I usually don't do that stuff because on the home screen, I got my widget and a phone call coming in. So hang on just a second. I'll be right back. All right, man, I'm back. Got a business call I had to take there. Okay, so let's see. Where were we? Okay, yeah, it's all in the face right here. So I like just, you know, scrolling through that. Actually, I don't even scroll. I just kind of look and see what's next because it keeps the most current thing up into your face. The create a reminder, I've used it a couple of times. The reason why it's still on my home screen is because I want to use it more. But I have everything so plugged into here in my calendar that this almost becomes obsolete to me. Unless it's just quick things on the fly where you can just kind of tap and, you know, start creating your little memos and stuff. So that's still there because I want to use it more. I think it is a useful tool. That's why I keep it on the forefront. Moving over, in the morning time, man, I get up at 4:30. So I ain't got a lot of time to be jacking around, you know, like looking for stuff. So I like my weather right here too. So when I get up, somewhere between me putting on my underwear and socks and brushing my teeth, I do get a quick glance at the weather. So I like having that right there on the forefront. I never really go into the app itself to look, you know, to see what's going down. You know, there's been occasions, but, you know, not as much as I just glance up here at the widget right here. There's your full calendar. I have used this quite a bit because, you know, people are always saying, hey, are you busy on ... I'll just scroll my little wheel over, look at that calendar, and then you can flip to the next month or whatever, and I'm there. And they're like, oh, man, you got a calendar on your watch? I'm like, yeah, beast mode. So then I got another widget here, which has these apps, these other most used apps. Messages. I use messages every day, like responding to messages. I never really go into the watch and try to send a message to somebody because it's just not as easily done as it is on the phone. But, you know, a million times, man, I've just replied yes or no or gotcha because I have some I got some stuff that I've actually customized that, you know, that's more conducive to what I would say to somebody, like, all right then, or something like that. And I'll just tap that little, you know, deal and it goes through and I don't have to do any texting. Even though you can actually text from this thing and it does have a keyboard and it works great, man. You can send some, you know, pretty detailed text on here in a reasonable amount of time and effort. But, you know, I really don't use that anymore because, you know, like I said, this is after all the hype. So now I just use it for simple stuff like yes, no, all right, I'll be there in a minute or something like that because this is pre-installed stuff on here. The phone, answering phone calls. I have made phone calls and answered phone calls on here numerous times. I love that feature. Whether you got the LTE version or not, it doesn't even matter. The fact that you can just talk on your watch is awesome. I've done it actually in the store, in public, or especially in private, of course. But, you know, I can hear through the speaker and it's nice. And, you know, on the other end, there's not a lot of ambient noise that they hear. So it works out both ways. The calculator, I don't use it as much as I probably should. I still have a habit of going to my phone. It's just a hard habit to break when I need my calculator. But this one is still up here because look at it. Look at the layout. I mean, it's a nice, simple, clean layout where you can just touch whatever you need to touch and be done with your business. But I keep it there because I know I can use it. And the tip estimator, I use that quite a bit, man. I'm not a bad tipper, but I always forget how to tip. You know, like, do you tip before or after the tax, or, you know, how much, you know, 15% of what is what. So, I use this tip estimator right here. Go in a little market, download that tip estimator if you're bad at math like me, and it'll help you out. Let me open it up, show you what it's all about. All right, let's enter in a number here. Let's say that meal was $30.25. Oh, let's go back. $30.25. All right, we're done. Let's hit next. All right, so if it's just one of y'all, you ain't got to worry about nothing, right? You just pay the bill. But let's say, you know what? Let's go Dutch on this day. Let's make that girl pay for her meal. Let's see here. So let's say now you want to go ahead and, because they gave you good service, man. They kept that tea glass filled up. So it's a 20% tip. And now you know that you're tipping $3.03 per person. So boom, there you go. So now the amount per person, if you go in Dutch, is $18.15. So I really like that app because it's just, you know, it keeps it simple, keeps it moving. I ain't got to do too much math in my head. So let's back out of this and go to the home screen. Oops, let's scroll back. All right, so that's it for my little app widget right there. Now, I will tell you that my most commonly, I'm not going to tap on it, but I will tell you my most commonly used app on here is Samsung Pay. I use Samsung Pay every time I get the opportunity. You know, they usually have the little payment device where you swipe your card right there so you can swipe your own card. I've gotten into that habit of asking where their little swiper is, like if they have it on the register. I'll reach my arm back there and tap on the side of the register, and they're like, whoa, how'd you do that? Like every chance I get, I am using Samsung Pay. My boy, Matt Walker, he told me that he started going into the gas station. He started taking an extra trip into the gas station so he could go use Samsung Pay at the register so he could rack up his points on here. I mean, I'm serious, man. Get those Samsung points, man. You can get all kinds of free stuff, free money for crying out loud. But Samsung Pay is definitely the most used app next to actually telling time on this thing. I use that so much. But last but not least, let's go into an app that you're going to have to download on your phone, and it is called MusicMate. So where is my MusicMate? Let's go in here. Go to the Google Play Store to download this one. So once you open it up, it actually allows you to download your music from your pretty much any playlist, but I download my playlist from Google Play Music, and I download it on, you can download it on the phone and then transfer it to your watch. And that's how I get music onto my watch that I actually own or whatever. So this is another commonly used app. So if you just want to throw some music on your phone, this is a good way to get it on there without having to go through any crazy stuff. You know, once you actually understand this app, how it works and what it's actually going to do for you, you will fall in love with this app. So it's called MusicMate. But that's it, man. That's all the stuff I use on my watch still. So in my opinion, it's still a good buy. Not 1 ounce of buyer's remorse for this thing, man. I love it. I use it every day. I wear it every day. I got this plethora of bands. I actually got 2 more bands coming in the mail today that I'm going to review for y'all. But that's it, man. This watch is still worth the money. Whatever they charging you for it, pay it, man. It's worth it. Check it out, though. I ain't never claimed to be an expert in this kind of stuff. I'm just doing reviews. But before I go, I'm going to need y'all to tap on that like button and smash on that subscribe button. And I'll see y'all at the next one.